As retirement advisors at Reap Financial, we have a unique privilege of seeing a lot of different portfolios, a lot of different families, and a lot of different business owners throughout the year. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of do's and a lot of don'ts when it comes to your retirement planning. And today I want to hit on the top do's and don'ts for a successful retirement. Keep it right here. Good day, everybody. Chris Herline here of Reap Financial and host of Wealth Radio on News Radio KLBJ every Saturday, 11 a.m. and host of Retire Ready TV for over 8 years now on KXAN. That's every Wednesday. Be sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the bell for notifications. I drop new content on this channel every Wednesday so you can stay on top of the latest. So today what I want to do is I want to talk about the top do's and don'ts so that you can create a successful retirement plan, okay? The last point today is something most people don't consider, but you should. So be sure and keep it here. Now let's dive in. Let's talk about the do's, the good stuff here. You do want to start planning early. The sooner you plan, the better. And it's all about the power of time, leveraging the power of time. And there's an arbitrary number that everybody saves for. Some people, they want $500 to retire. They want $1 million to retire, $3 million, whatever your number is. Hopefully you're on your way to it. But this idea of having $1 million in retirement, that can sound like a successful number. And it may sound like a really big number or a hard number to achieve, but let's just talk about the power of time for a second. If you're 20 years old and you were to save $111 per month at an average market return from the age of 20 to 65, you would have $1 million saved. Think about that. $111 per month from age 20 to 65. Now, if you start saving at 30 or 40, that number goes up. But the idea of saving consistently, having it come out of your check, you don't see it, you don't spend it, that's how most millionaires have arrived in retirement, just by discipline, staying within a budget and not having to have the newest and greatest thing every single year when it comes out, when it comes to cars, electronics, whatever, right? They're sensible in their spending. Another top do is diversify your investments. When we talk about diversification, it's a very overused word, I would say, in the financial landscape. But there's two types of diversification that are very important. The first one is obviously investment diversification. You want zig and zag in your portfolio in retirement. You want money that's going up even when the market's going down. And this is how retirees, the most successful ones, stay retired. They don't fret when the markets are moving, right? If they're volatile in a given year, they're not worried about it because they've got assets that are doing different things in the market. So staying retired is obviously a main objective for retirees. And one of the best ways to do that is to really spread out your investments, diversify amongst many things. The second form of diversification that's very often overlooked and really critical is tax diversification. Where you're saving your money today, have you ever thought about how you're going to be taxed, when you're going to be taxed on that money? And so what we see happen is people will do a great job of saving in IRAs and 401ks, but come time to retire, they didn't realize that they're going to have to pay a lot of tax. You got $1 million in your 401k, let's say, it's probably only worth about $800,000 because you've never paid tax on it. Think about that. If you need $10,000 a month to live on and all you're living on is IRAs and 401ks, you have to pull out 12 to net your 10. So your drawdown happens a lot faster. Also, your Medicare premiums, your Social Security taxation is all going to be based on your tax bracket, your income tax. And so it's really important to have a plan for tax diversification. You want to have money that is under the radar or not taxed in retirement. And Roth IRAs, Roth 401ks, health savings accounts are some of the best ways to build a nice tax-free nest egg. Now, another top do is you want to plan for inflation. Do plan for inflation because inflation was kind of off the radar for many, many years, right? It was well under 2%. And then COVID hit, and then all of a sudden, inflation's through the roof, and we're still seeing high inflation here in 2024. It's not 8%, but it's not 2%. And I think we're going to be in this inflationary period, unfortunately, longer than we want. And so for retirees, you're getting a cost of living maybe on your Social Security check, but oftentimes it's not keeping up with the real cost of living out there. And so you want to make sure you have a plan that is accounting for inflation, not just this year, but over the next 30 years, because your purchasing power is eroded by inflation. And I've always told families, inflation will never make you broke. It'll make your lifestyle broke. You just got to start scaling things back, and that's no fun in retirement. Now listen, I want you to visit reapwebinar.com. That's reapwebinar.com to stay informed on the latest retirement trends. I host monthly webinars. Check our site right now for upcoming events. That's reapwebinar.com. And also, if you got questions around this topic or any other topics, leave that question in the comments section, and I'll be sure to address it in new upcoming videos. Now let's talk about the don'ts. Don't overlook tax implications and the opportunity to minimize taxes on your retirement income. I cannot tell you how many people don't know that they pay tax on Social Security and retirement. I can't tell you how many people don't know that they could pay higher Medicare premiums than their coworkers or their neighbors. And the thing about taxes is we all grumble, we don't like paying them, but as of 2024, tax rates are lower than they've ever been in 40 years right now. And the chances of taxes going up or being higher in the future, I think that's a really good bet. So think through how you're planning today, where you're saving today, and if you consider that taxes are going to be higher in the future, would it not make sense to maybe save today in accounts that maybe you're not getting these tiny tax deductions? I call them tiny tax deductions because, again, these are historically low tax rates. So if you're let me give you an example. If you're putting money in an IRA or a 401k, in that case, you're getting a tax deduction. But the question is do you want a tax deduction on the small number today, or do you want to pay tax on the big number tomorrow? And most people that we retire successfully, they come in, they got millions in IRAs and 401ks, and they're going, if I just would have known, I had no idea that the tax implications would be like this. And this is retirees today, 2024, having these type of comments, these type of thoughts when tax rates are at historic lows. What we see with successful retirees, and take this to heart, is most retirees that have done the right thing, they've saved, they want to maintain their lifestyle in retirement, they're in the same tax bracket in retirement. Many of our clients are in higher tax brackets. One, because they want to increase lifestyle, or two, because when you turn 73 or 75, you have to take required minimum distributions. And if you've got a lot of money in IRAs and 401ks, it can be a sizable deal, sizable forced withdrawal that happens every year, and you kind of get stuck in these higher tax brackets, okay? So you really want to be thinking through the tax implications and opportunities to minimize your taxes, not just today, but minimizing them for the next 20 or 30 years throughout your retirement. Here's another big don't. Don't let emotions take a toll on your finances. It's so easy to let emotions dictate your financial decisions, and this is very dangerous territory for people. You do not want to let emotions drive your investment decisions. And particularly, we're seeing this more and more here in 2024. We've got an election year, a very polarized election year, and people feeling if my candidate doesn't win, the market's going to fall, the economy's going to suffer. And, at the end of the day, nothing's guaranteed, but we like to look at data. We like to lean on facts. And what's interesting is if you look back over the last 100 years, through every presidential election cycle, there's only been 2 cycles in 100 years where the stock market's been negative. Think about that. And historically, stock markets have been positive, much more so than negative, even in the first year of the newly elected president's term. So we believe that elections do not drive the long-term markets. Administrations can absolutely have an impact on markets, but they don't drive the long-term effective markets. That's data, that's real, true fact. Now, one other thing you want to consider is your contingency plan. In retirement, you need to have a well-diversified plan and ask yourself, if the market fell today, if we had a negative day in the market or a negative month in the market, what in your portfolio didn't lose any money? What account went up in value even though the market went down? If you say nothing, I don't have anything that's in that, you need to really hone in, sit down with an advisor and look at your diversification plan. The way that we structure plans at REAP Financial for families is so that they can stay retired in good markets and in bad markets. We know that bad markets will pass and good markets will prevail, but you need to ask yourself, am I truly diversified to weather anything that comes at you? And we can help you design that at REAP Financial. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to click on this next video where I talk about emotional risk and how it can affect so many retirees. Keep it here.